everybody, welcome back to Baking Across the Globe. We are going to be making a Sachertorte tonight. So to get started, we have, this recipe does call for 7 egg yolks, and with that we have 7 egg whites, and it also calls for 1 cup of powdered sugar, and it also calls for 5 ounces of chocolate. I'm going to use semi-sweet chocolate, and we will be melting this in a little while. And it also calls for 1 1/4 cups of flour, which I have in this measuring cup. And it also calls for 2/3 of a cup of butter at room temperature. And it also calls for a 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of sugar. And it also calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So, and it also calls for a pinch of salt. So I have some salt right here. So to get started, we are going to mix the butter. So I have my butter right here, and I'll put it in this bowl. And we are going to, well, I'm going to go ahead and mix the butter up a little bit before I add the powdered sugar. Alright, and now I'm going to add the 1 cup of powdered sugar. Start off slow, or you're going to end up with a sugar shower. About like that. While we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and add in our egg yolks, 1 yolk at a time. I might be adding a couple egg yolks at a time because one of my yolks broke. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, we have that good and blended. And you see what it looks like. It's a pale yellow. It's really nice. Now we're going to go ahead and melt the chocolate, and then we will be adding that to this mixture. Okay, right now we are getting some water heated up in this pot, and we've created a double boiler. So I'm going to be putting the chocolate in this bowl, and we're going to get it all melted so we can add it to our egg mixture over there. Just moving my bowl to where the handles aren't, where the steam's going to come out of my pot. Don't want to get burned in this process. Alright, we have our chocolate all melted, and I am going to add this to our egg mixture. I'll get every last bit of it, every last drop. Anyway. Okay, I got the chocolate in, and now we're going to go ahead and get this all mixed up. Okay, now that we have all of our chocolate mixed into our egg mixture, I'm going to go ahead and get these egg whites all whipped up and get our meringue going. Add a pinch of salt. And when this gets into the foamy stage, I'm going to add in my sugar gradually. This is the stage you want right here, stiff peaks. Okay, so now that we have our meringue, we have these stiff peaks. We're going to fold the meringue into this chocolate mixture, about a third of it at a time. get the rest of it in there. While I'm folding that in, I'm going to go ahead and get my flour sifted in here. I'm really excited for this cake. It looks like it's going to be so good. My husband loves chocolate cake, so I've been excited about doing this recipe this week. And keep doing this until you get your flour and your egg whites all incorporated and everything's nice and smooth and you don't see any more flour or egg whites in there. Alright, I think I got it all incorporated. I don't see any more egg whites. I don't see any more flour. It's nice and smooth. Okay, we're going to use a 9-inch springform pan. I already got my parchment paper in there. And I've already sprayed it. So now I'm just going to pour the cake batter in there. This will also bake at 350 degrees. For about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing. Not as easy as it might look. Get this all spread out evenly. Now I'm going to put it in my oven at 350 degrees. While that's baking, I'm going to go ahead and this recipe calls for apricot jam, and what we're going to do is we're going to get it all heated up and make it more liquidy, and then we're going to sieve it through my strainer, and so you don't get any of the bits and pieces. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to spread this apricot jam all over the cake. We're going to actually cut the cake in half to create 2 layers, and we're going to put the apricot jam in the middle and on the top and on the sides, and then after that we will also be making a chocolate glaze that's going to be poured over the cake. Okay, I have 1 cup of apricot jam here. Put in the saucepan. And we're going to get this all heated up so it's liquidy. Well, I say it's pretty liquidy, so I am going to take it off the heat and get my sieve. Alright, we're going to sieve it, put it through the sieve so it doesn't get all those apricot pieces into the jam that we're going to put on the cake. And now we got nice smooth apricot jam to spread on the cake. Let it cool for a bit. Okay, hi everybody, the cake is done. And now, while it's warm, you need to flip it and get it out of this pan so I can go ahead and start cooling. Just getting my knife, running my knife around the edges just so I can make sure I get it out pretty easily. Well, that was easy. Alright, we're going to let this get nice and cool, and then we're going to be cutting it in half and going to be spreading some apricot jam on it. Okay, now we're going to cut this in half. To put half of this apricot jam on this layer. Spread it around. Bit more. There we go. Get all the edges, and doesn't matter if it drips off because we're going to be doing the sides too. so good. Okay, so we're going to let that sit, and we're going to go ahead and get the chocolate glaze prepared to go on top of this cake. So hi everybody, this is a different day. This is the day after I started this cake. So what happened was I'm doing this video last night until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I had that mishap with my chocolate glaze that I will insert a little snippet of what happened. And I was tired and I decided to just go to bed and start on my glaze today. Okay, so now we're going to make the chocolate glaze for the cake, and we're going to do 1 1/4 cups of sugar, and we're going to do 2/3 of a cup of water. We're going to get this to a boil. And after we get it to a boil and we get the sugar to dissolve, we're going to let it boil for just a few minutes, and then we're going to let it cool for a few minutes, and then I'm going to add the 7 ounces of chocolate. Okay, so what I've done is I let it get to a boil, and then I turned it down to a simmer so far it's been about 4 minutes, and they say 5 minutes, but I think I'm about to turn it off. I'm going to need to get it off the heat, and before I add the chocolate, take it off the heat, because now it has been 5 minutes. And I'm going to let it cool, and well, not all the way, but I'm going to let it cool some, and then I'll add the chocolate. Okay, it has been cooling now for about 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to add the chocolate. And hopefully it don't seize up on me again. Oh, this is so much better. Oh yeah. So you want to wait until you get that kind of coating on a spoon, and now you know it's ready to pour over the cake. Oh, that's so pretty. It turned out much better than last night. The frosting turned out so much better tonight. So we got it finished and it turned out beautiful. It's on the cake, and so now we are going to take a slice of it and see how it tastes. And also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that little notification bell if you want to see when I upload my videos. And so next week, instead of doing a 4th stop, we are going to take a detour, and I am going to resurrect one of my Gimme Some Sugar cupcakes. I used to have an online business called Gimme Some Sugar Cupcake Company, and I am going to make one of my cupcake recipes next week. So for now, we're going to take a slice of this cake and see how it tastes. Oh, that is so gorgeous. That is so good. You can really taste the apricot. So, if you want to see more recipes like this one, subscribe, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.